the bust of Martin Luther King resting just below it, whose dream Trump promised to make come true. And the bust of Winston Churchill's back, baby. Trump shipped off the RFK bust, though. Sorry, Bobby. A freshly painted portrait of Andrew Jackson was put up. And, of course, the famous Diet Coke button's back. With the press of a button, you get 24/7 Diet Coke service. This button, not to be confused with the nuclear button. God help us. And Trump hasn't fired this many people since The Apprentice. He says he's in the process of identifying and removing over 1,000 presidential appointees from the previous administration who are not aligned with our vision to make America great again. You're fired. Names you may recognize: Mark Milley, and his portrait's gone from the Pentagon. It's like he's been canceled. The head of the Coast Guard, who didn't stop a single migrant from breaching our beaches, goodbye. And Chef Jose Andres, who probably not a good idea to take a photo with the man who tried to assassinate your new boss. Over a dozen justice officials have packed their bags today. And Trump also revoked security clearances for the 51 intel officers who signed the Hunter Biden laptop letter. And that's not the only thing he's getting rid of. 78 of Biden's executive actions gone with the stroke of a Sharpie. And in 24 hours, 200 executive actions. He also gave 4 speeches, attended a half a dozen balls and dinners, and held 2 media Q&As. The new White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, didn't even have a chance to walk out to the podium because the president missed being out there so much. Late this afternoon, the president delivered a historic announcement.
Together, these world-leading technology giants are announcing the formation of Stargate. So put that name down in your books, because I think you're going to hear a lot about it in the future. A new American company that will invest $500 billion at least in AI infrastructure in the United States and very, very quickly, moving very rapidly, creating over 100,000 American jobs almost immediately. Beginning immediately, Stargate will be building the physical and virtual infrastructure to power the next generation of advancements in AI, and this will include the construction of colossal data centers, very, very massive structures. I was in the real estate business. These buildings, these are big, beautiful buildings, are going to employ a lot of people.
Larry Ellison from Oracle, Masayoshi from SoftBank, and Sam Altman from OpenAI were in the Roosevelt Room pledging a $500 billion investment in American AI. But the oligarchs that Biden warned us about are promising to cure cancer, something Biden promised but never did.
You can do early cancer detection with a blood test. And using AI to look at the blood test, you can find the cancers that are actually seriously threatening the person.
Trump's election created a ripe environment to make major scientific breakthroughs because his tax, energy, and regulatory policies are perfect.
I'm thrilled we get to do this in the United States of America. I think this will be the most important project of this era. And as Masa said, for AGI to get built here, to create hundreds of thousands of jobs, to create a new industry centered here, we wouldn't be able to do this without you, Mr. President.
The big difference here is that Biden taxed you to give money away to his hand-picked businesses. But these are private businesses investing their own money here in America. We're not picking winners and losers with your money. Today's a good day to bet on America.
I came to celebrate your winning and promise that we will invest $100 billion. And you told me, oh, Masa, go for 200. Yeah. Now I came back with 500. Because this is the, as you said yesterday, this is the beginning of golden age of America.
Trump's first full day back in office, and he seals a $500 billion AI investment. And the snipers in the media didn't ask a single question about it. They started off right where they left off in 2020, trying to create a scandal.
You launched your crypto coin the other day. Do you intend to continue selling products that benefit yourself personally while you're president?
Well, I don't know if it benefited. I don't know where it is. I don't know much about it other than I launched it. I heard it was very successful. I haven't checked it. Where is it today?
You made a lot of money, sir.
How much?
several $billion, it seems like, in the last several days.
Several billion, that's peanuts for these guys.
47 has a different demeanor. He's calm, and he's not getting baited into hostile exchanges. And he's garnering a new era of respect.
He said, if you committed violence on January 6th, obviously you should not be pardoned. Why is your vice president wrong?
Well, only for one reason. They've served years in jail. They should not have served, excuse me, their lives have been ruined. And in many cases, listen to me for a second, stop interrupting. We won this election in a landslide because the American public is tired of people like you that are just one-sided, horrible people.
Trump doesn't have time for gotcha questions about Jan 6th. We're in a tech war with China, a proxy war with Russia, and LA was just burnt to a crisp.
So we're demanding that they turn the valve back toward Los Angeles right now. It's not even believable that they haven't done it. Just so you know, they have a valve and it turns like, think of a sink, but multiply it times many thousands of times the size of it. It's massive. And you turn it back toward Los Angeles. Why aren't they doing it? They either have a death wish, they're stupid, or there's something else going on that we don't understand. But we want the water that they're throwing away to be used for California.
Trump's visiting North Carolina and California at the end of the week. So hopefully we'll solve some problems there and get our citizens back on their feet. Even the New York Times recognizes the true power of the Trump presidency. Quote, a determined Trump vows not to be thwarted at home or abroad. Wiser about the use of power, the newly sworn-in president suggests that this time he will not take no for an answer, whether in enacting an ambitious domestic agenda or in his expansionist worldview. Change is coming at a speed, scope, and scale that America hasn't seen since the early days of the Cold War against the Soviets. And the media is struggling just to find out how they're against it.
Democrats, instead of at this point, if the Democrats brought me in, instead of saying what Donald Trump is doing wrong and all the things wrong, start to look at what he's doing right from a winning point of view. From a winning point of view, once again, he is giving the people what they want. We can wring our hands. He's putting on a show. Democrats talked about the joy of, running with it. They're walking around, their chests are out, they're feeling like winners, and the Democrats feel like whiners and nerds, and that's got to change. That's got to go upside down.
Mike Tyson and Jake Paul just tried to knock each other's heads off. And now look at them, having a ball at the ball. If they can get along, why can't the rest of us?
And welcome to Hannity. And tonight we are broadcasting live. We are inside the beautiful U.S. Capitol building where Republicans now control both chambers of Congress. And right now there is also a Republican in the White House, which brings us to a major programming note. Tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, join us right here on Hannity. Donald Trump's very first interview from the Oval Office of his brand new term. A time of optimism, hopefully a golden era in America, as he talked about in his inaugural address. You all excited about that? We got members of Congress here. All right. We got a great crowd. Thank you. By the way, we are all counting on you. Don't screw it up, okay? But tonight was really about Washington, the House, the Senate. Speaker Mike Johnson is going to join us, along with dozens of other Republican lawmakers. They are on a mission. They have a very small majority. They have to work together with the newly sworn-in president to fix what is broken in the country, and there's a lot broken. And, of course, put America first. It's not an easy task. Anything worthwhile is hard, and they hold a slim majority. And after Donald Trump's recent nominees are put in power, the GOP will have at most a 5-vote edge over Democrats, but they start out with only a 2 to 3 vote majority. So needless to say, if they want to get anything done, unity of message, unity of purpose is going to be critical. It's going to be important. And look at this poll we just got tonight from Insider Advantage. That's Matt Tower's group. 70% of Republican voters want lawmakers, all of you in this room with me tonight, to pass Donald Trump's appointees and his agenda, and they want you to work in unison. So let's be very clear. Other than Senator John Fetterman, I'm not really expecting a lot of help from the likes of Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, AOC, the Radical Squad, or any Democrat to cross the aisle and actually govern for the sake of the people in the country. In fact, despite a landslide victory in the fall for Donald Trump, the left is still vowing to resist the president with the same level of, drama, hysteria that we've all come to expect. This morning, a so-called bishop politicizing an inaugural prayer service. Instead of offering a benediction for our country, for our president, she goes on a far-left woke tirade in front of Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, their families, their young children. She made the service about her very own deranged political beliefs with a disgraceful prayer full of fear-mongering and division. Listen for yourself.
In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals.
Well, if you come in the country illegally, you didn't respect our laws, our borders, and our sovereignty, that would make you a criminal by definition. Totally inappropriate and, in my view, disgraceful. But in every corner of Washington, D.C., that is what Republicans are up against. And that is especially true for the state-run legacy media mob that I argue died on November the 5th. They have learned no lessons from the 2024 election. They're still droning on and on and on about the end of the world as we know it. Take a look.
We're talking about an attempt to portray this peaceful transition of power with people who were convicted in the insurrection attempt attending, with the person who fomented the coup being sworn in as president, essentially a delay in the completion of the insurrection. I believe that this idea of the institutions, which the Bidens clearly, truly believe in, have been completely exposed by this election.
Kristi Noem, the nominee for Homeland Security, next to Apple CEO Tim Cook. How is this happening?
Only in America.
How is this happening? Why are people with tons of money up on the dais with cabinet nominees and family members?
It is a message.
It is a message. And I think I think they are up there for the very reason that you probably think they're up there.
So the state-run legacy media mob also turned their sights on Donald Trump's biggest supporters, despite voting for Obama and manufacturing electric cars and creating a new type of solar panel and bringing internet to rural America and revolutionizing, by the way, space travel. Oh, Elon Musk is a bad guy? Enemy number 2 for the legacy media? Is this the same Elon Musk that made a gesture at Trump's rally, one that Democrats, we have videos and pictures of making the same gesture? The guy that, he's given his heart to a crowd, so-called journalists, literally accusing him. They're back to Nazi, fascist, racist, Hitler, Stalin, Mussolini. Here we go again. Take a look.
And yes, that salute was evocative of things that we have seen through history. It was quick. I think our viewers are smart and they can take a look at that, but it certainly was, it's not something that you typically see at American political rallies, let's put it that way.
No, it was not something that you usually would see.
That was a Nazi salute, and he didn't just do it one time. He did it twice for emphasis. And if you talk to anyone, that's historians, folks who actually study the Nazis and study this actual kind of disgusting display, have been very clear that what that was. And he should not just apologize, he should be condemned for those kinds of actions. So gross, disgusting, but more of what we can expect, I think, from Elon Musk and Donald Trump.
What they don't like about Elon Musk is he's friends with Donald Trump. Elon is pro-freedom, pro-humanity, anti-censorship, anti-big government. He spent millions to help the people in desperate need in North Carolina and people in California after those fires went out of control. He's an immigrant to this country. He built multiple major companies from the ground up. He employs thousands and thousands of Americans from all backgrounds, races, religions. Only an idiot would call him a Nazi, but that's what NBC News did. And they obviously have not come to the realization that legacy media is dead. Lying and peddling conspiracy theories will lead to a massive decline in viewership. We see this unfolding in real time before our eyes. But after the past, 10 years, I think it's safe to say that there's no shortage of idiots doubling down on stupid in the media mob. But their influence and their power is waning, and all of you know it. And they want this Congress to enact Trump's America's First agenda. And tonight, I am joined by the people that will make that happen. Many of the lawmakers responsible for getting this agenda across the finish line to help improve your lives, make your towns, your cities more safe, more secure, and to put more money in your family's pocket and make us the richest country on earth with energy. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.